Badger, everybody. Today, we're continuing on in the next level. The intro thing actually changes with each level. Right now, we are on level 2, part 2 of the tutorial. When you enter the second level, you're going to have to find food immediately for your little ones. We obviously need a little bite to eat. And it's no doubt that that the little ones are going to be starving and very sick. So it's hard to feed everybody. So it doesn't matter who you feed, they're all pretty much starving. Now you want to turn your volume down for this specific round, because you will hear music. Now if you let these guys out of your vision for more than 5 seconds, I think, then they will go ahead and die. This is like the Lonesome Fog, but worse. Because there's no way to avoid it. Your little ones are going to be very scared and not doing good at all. You're gonna have to stay calm for this one. If you don't, you'll lose a pup. You're going to hear the music, and that means that you're going to have to brace yourself. And brace yourself, you're indeed gonna have to do. You won't have fun with this one. It's the one that I don't like. Because it's so terrifying. You're scared for all of your little ones. And it will be difficult to come after your little children if you are strictly right-handed like me, because you have to use arrow keys. Now, they might run ahead of you or behind you. You're gonna have to try to keep up with them as best you can. If you lose a cup here, I don't blame you. This is the scariest level, and I don't think they should have made you do it second, right after the tutorial. But it does brace yourself. It does brace you for the terrors that happen next. You don't want to know what those terrors are. Unless you're on 100%. Don't really care a whole bunch about animal safety. Which I don't know how someone isn't. Where are they getting behind? Oh, they all want to be in front of me. I have to feed my littlest baby. That isn't fed at all. No, not for you. That's not yours. I got it. It's been half eaten, but it'll work. It'll definitely do. Give me that. Oh, come on. This is a level where if the cub gets starving, you're going to have to leave them behind. There's no way out of it. And remember, keep all of your babies in your vision, otherwise it'll be much worse when they start running. Behind or in front of you. There's going to be a jump scare here. I can tell when the jump scares happen, and they won't happen again unless you wait for a really long time. There's a jump scare there's usually going to be a jump scare at about the time where you're going to go under something. That's how I predict it. It's not always going to be true, but you're usually going to have one when you go under something. For example, right about now. Right when you go under something. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't, but when you're standing still or feeding a baby, it won't happen because it'll be okay. 100%. If you don't want it to 100%, they don't want it to 100% be okay. Right when we cross this place, we're going to have another bad thing happen to one of our little babies. Well, not a bad thing happened to one of them, it's just a particularly bad thing. Brace yourself. If they stop moving, move a little bit and they'll be fine. You'll be okay. They're going to start running backwards after a time, but most of the time it's random. Sadly, you're most likely going to have it happen to you when it goes backwards, and that's the hardest thing to deal with. When it goes backwards. This is a particularly difficult level for me because it's so scary. So, once you reach this thing, you might have just about reached the end of it. Oh, there's a turn. Good. Sometimes I get so turned around I forget where something it is. One little thing happens, and then I'm unable to extract it from my mind, and it's just like it's gonna haunt me forever. That's this level. Now you're only allowed to sprint when the twig snaps. So sadly, you are indeed going to not be able to just go ahead and let everything be fine. Now the trick is you have to follow the water upstream. When you're moving, it's a little hard to predict this, but if you stop moving for a second, you'll notice it's moving ahead of you. And that's what you want to see. You want to follow those things, bits, whatever. Those times. And it's still not impossible to not have your kids fed. Nor is it impossible for you to have your kids fed. But it's fine. You're fine. It's about a 50-50 chance that everything's going to be okay, because it's kind of difficult to get a grip on where everything is and how to strategically feed any of them. Now, you don't want to just immediately start running backwards when a bad thing happens, like when you hear it, because they might just start running forwards. They usually head in the exact opposite direction of you. So, just keep going and then you'll be able to predict where they're gonna go. But that's not always gonna happen. So, brace yourself for the worst, because the worst may happen. Now don't get yourself turned around, because it does let you go back to the start. Probably not on purpose. And when food comes into view, I don't think it lets it happen. noise happen because you're almost 100% gonna pick it up. I did say that you shouldn't go to every bit of food you can get to, but in this level, that's the one key to survival here. You have to notice a little pattern. The twig snapping usually happen in narrow places or when you're going under something. That's the trick. Another trick is to just stay calm. And if you're not at all planning on doing anything, and you're not recording this or something, it's totally okay to just leave your cubs behind on this one. They won't make it, but you'll at least have one alive. Yeah, you'll have one by the time this is over, if you are careless for your cubs and stuff. Now when you see this little open clearing here, with something that seems to lead to nowhere, you're almost at the end of the level. Here we go. Okay. That was fun. I hope this tutorial was useful or at least fun to watch. And I hope you had a good day and goodbye.